Jar Jar Binks, Jar 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 Binks. Me say your humble servant, Jar 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 Binks, Jar 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 Binks. Oh, muy muy, I love you, Jar 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 Binks. Me say go Jar Jar Binks.
Hello everybody, some would say I'm the reverse, and welcome to my review for The Flash Season 9, Episode 8, titled Partners in Time. Let's just get right into this episode. I thought it was fine compared to the last two especially. I've seen some people really hating on this episode because it is the third filler episode in a row. It is very frustrating to see that this is the priority in the final season. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, it is not a good episode, but in a vacuum, just watching this episode on its own, I enjoyed it a decent amount. It was fine. Again, definitely better than the last two, but overall, yeah, it's just disappointing to see that this is the kind of episode that I think is important enough to include in the final season. I mean, this is 3 episodes out of 13 that they used on just useless filler. The good news is, this is probably the last filler that we will ever see on The Flash. We have 5 episodes left of the entire show. The next episode is Oliver Queen, Bloodwork, Wally, Diggle, that whole episode with the new multiverse, which we learned about in the trailer they released. And then the final 4 episodes is the 4-part finale about Cobalt Blue and all the main villains coming back and all that. So this is the last filler episode we have to worry about, which is great. But anyways, let's talk about what this episode is actually about. Let's start with the side story, just because I want to get it out of the way right away. Basically, the side story is about Chester and Allegra, which it always is. This time, Chester tells Allegra that he loves her, and she freezes up, and we've seen this a million times before. I mean, we've seen it in this show before with Joe and Cecile and all that. Basically, Allegra froze up. She didn't say I love you back because she has been in too many bad relationships, I guess, and she's worried about losing Chester. Anyways, after a little bit of pep talk from Cecile, who is the new and not improved Joe, Allegra decides to go see Chester and basically tell him I love you too, and storyline ends. Horrible stuff. It really, just such a waste of screen time. Nobody cares about these characters, and the whole I love you, cliche here is so dumb. I've never understood it, and it's even worse here. Anyways, let's get to the main story, because this is actually the decent part of the episode. So the main story, for once, is actually about Barry, as well as Iris, of course. There's a mold inspection in Star Labs. Barry basically calls for a mold inspection because of Nora. He wants, I guess he just wants them to be breathing safe air in Star Labs. I don't know. Kind of a stupid storyline. But anyways, the inspectors come and they're inspecting the speed lab when all of a sudden they leave to go investigate another room, inspect another room, and they end up back in the speed lab. And a few more times they try to leave the room and go somewhere else. They end up back in the speed lab. And basically this is because of something called a time magnet. At the beginning of the episode, we saw some sort of thief in the year 2131 in what is the Flash Museum. It's actually Star Labs in the future, but it's the Flash Museum in the Weapons Vault, which of course used to be the speed lab. And they stole something. It turns out that something was a time magnet, and this time magnet is doing a bunch of stuff. Barry, Iris, and the inspectors are getting stuck in time, pulled back into the speed lab, and all these different objects throughout time are being pulled there as well. A grandfather clock. They all get new clothing, and it doesn't make much sense. But anyways, they eventually discover that of the 4 inspectors, one of them is the time thief. Turns out it is the electrician, I guess, this lady named Inspector Tao, which was obvious because earlier in the episode she didn't even know what a breaker box was called, so obviously she's the time thief, not a real electrician. But But yeah, it turns out she's a time thief named Lady Kronos, whose design was actually fine. I liked the makeup they gave her. But yeah, she stole the time magnet, and then she got stuck in this time, and her belt, which allows her to time travel and stuff, died. So Barry charges the belt, and she... maybe I missed it, but did she return the time magnet to 2131 and get arrested or something? I don't know. But whatever she did, it fixed the problem with the speed lab. But yeah, that's really the extent of what's going on here. And that's, I mean, I basically covered everything. The only other kind of side plot of this episode is that Keone kind of left and met Carla, which is something I've been waiting for because, I mean, Caitlin died and we never even heard about what Carla had to say about it. That's her daughter, but we didn't even get to hear about what Carla has to say about the death of Caitlin. Just that, she wants to meet Keone. I don't know. Carla's always been not a very interesting character to me, so I don't really care. But anyways, that's really all I have to talk about. This episode is really really uneventful. I guess I guess they were just, this is a bottle episode. I guess they were just saving money for the last 5 episodes, which is great because that's all we have left. So tell me in the comments what you thought of this episode. Do you agree with a lot of the people online that are saying this is like as bad as the last 2? I don't think so. I think just based on the fact that we actually have Barry as the main focus, this is by default better than the last 2. But anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to the last 5 episodes. In 3 weeks' time, we do have that Oliver episode, so yeah, I'm really excited. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And see ya.